Hi everybody, my name is Gregory West. I'm an author, and this is my new book, The Day the Lights Went Out. This is a collection of short stories. I loved reading short stories when I was younger. I remember in English class in high school really being introduced to just the genre of short stories. And one of my favorite authors was Ray Bradbury, and he had a thing that he wrote, like books like The Martian Chronicles or The Illustrated Man, where they were individual short stories in the book, but they were connected by a theme. And then at the end, he'd bring it home with some kind of powerful emotional impact. So I always had the desire to kind of write something along that line, not necessarily about Mars or it's just stories about life and people and emotions, and make those emotional connections. And you have to do that really fast in a short story. You don't have a whole book to stretch out and develop plot and all the relationships and things. You only have a short amount of time, short amount of pages to do this in. I had this idea. I was starting back about, I think it was 2011 when I first got the idea. It's been sitting in here stewing for a long time. What would happen if all the lights went out and never came back on again? I mean, nobody knows what happens. One of the things we depend on is electronic media to tell us what's going on in the world around us. And if all of a sudden that stopped, and electricity stopped, and radio and TV stopped, and internet stopped, well, it'd be really hard to get information about things. There'd be a lot of rumors. There would be a lot of just uncertainty about things, a lot of ambiguity. I got the idea, let's explore this a little bit, not in the sense of like a disaster book, but what would happen to just regular people in different stations of life, depending on who and where and what they were doing when the lights went out and they never came back on again. There's 10 short stories in here. The first one is about a guy, it's called Walking Home. And it's about a guy, it's how I introduced the whole premise of the plot. He's a network administrator, works in a call center. And you know where you get those annoying robocalls during the day, or people trying to sell you things, or people taking polls during political years. And all of a sudden, all the servers, all the computers, all the lights go out, all his backups go out, all his battery backups don't work, even the emergency lights don't work. He has no way to explain it. His boss is all over him trying to, hey, what's going on? What's going on? Hey, we're losing money here. They go outside and they see the traffic lights aren't working. All the cars outside have stopped working. So nobody really knows why this happened. And I don't attempt to explain it in the book. People do some speculation, but like in real life, we probably would never know why that would happen. Maybe it was a solar flare. Maybe it was a computer virus, cyber attack. Does it affect the whole world? Just your neighborhood, your state, your county? You don't know. The ambiguity just kind of sets in right away. And his big conflict is that when he was a young man, he grew up in a city and went to a high school where there was a lot of racial strife. And he stayed after school one day and got beaten up by some students of a different race. And he, even though he went on to life in college and things and kind of got over and put that behind him, going home, he's got to walk back through that neighborhood again. And the fear is in it. And that strife of the intellectual mind that tells you, yeah, racism's wrong, and you know that hey, you're an enlightened person, you're educated. But there's that deep-seated fear that's there. He's got to face that as he's walking home. There's another story in here about some soldiers in Afghanistan. We've enjoyed a technological supremacy in our military for decades. And in places like Afghanistan, where it's remote and primitive, they're fighting the Mujahideen, like back when the Russians were there, or when they're fighting the Taliban. When they first went in, the marvelous technical prowess of the United States military was something else. But when you take all that away, and these soldiers are there on a secret mission, and there are just a small group of them, of Green Berets, that all of a sudden everything goes out on them. All the gear that they count on to give them that superiority goes away, and it's man for man, man against man in Mortal Kombat. And it's a very gripping story. There's a story about astronauts that are on the International Space Station who, for whatever reason, they're not affected by it. The whole Earth appears to be affected by it. And as they orbit over the Earth, they don't see any any light, no sign of technology. Places that normally were like you go around the night side of the earth and they're flying overhead 250 miles up. They would see at night the city lights of Los Angeles and New York and big cities, Seoul, Korea, and they don't see anything. They don't get any communications from Earth. They don't know what's going on, and they have to make a decision, and that's the big conflict. Will they make it back? Do they know whether they make it back? Would whatever affected the Earth, affect them on the way back down? It's a gripping, suspenseful chapter in the book. And then there's some chapters in here that'll just make you feel heartwarming and just wonderful and warm fuzzies. And there's other chapters in there that'll make you laugh out loud. And so I hope that you'll think about picking up a copy. The Day the Lights Went Out, 10 short stories by me, Gregory D. West. It's available in hardback. Oh, I'm so stoked to have this in hardback, paperback, and also as a Kindle book. You'll enjoy several hours of really good reading that's going to touch your heart. It's going to make you shake in your boots. Oh, the chapter Harbor Cove, it's horrifying. I hope that you'll check it out. I will be back with more contents and videos and stuff in the future. Thanks for watching.